Third topic here, back to college basketball world. Big Ten trades. Where did this topic come from? Did you brainchild this, or did we have a comment that wanted this?
I think we had actually I think this was my little brainchild. I had like a little statement like what if we could trade I can't remember it might have been Coleman. Coleman to Rutgers. And then you thought, save that. Let's talk about what we do for a segment for it.
I think you just took credit from a comment. I think someone commented, what player would you trade? And then we said, we're going to save that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe
Okay,
not.
well
I don't
if
know.
I did, I'm sorry. But also at the same time, like you can fight me too if you want to.
So I asked you to bring three trades. I also brought three trades. You go first. I'll go second. Unveil your three trades. Go from your least favorite to your favorite. And then I will tell you whether one, these teams would accept this trade. And then two, I don't want to say give it a grade, but basically speak to whether I like it, whether I don't like it, who I think wins it, etc. So
Okay.
let's start with your least favorite. Take us to your favorite, and then I got three after that.
All right. My least favorite is Doug McDaniel traded to the Illinois Fighting Illini for Dre Gibbs Lawhorn.
Talk me through the why here.
I think that Doug can be a dynamic level point guard. And I think that he could also solidify like Illinois. I know you originally said that you want it to be like a 1 year thing. I'm also thinking that Illinois will eventually have senior year Doug McDaniel, senior year Sincere Harris, senior year Ty Rodgers, and like they just got like unreal core going forward of guys that play extremely hard, and love basketball. I kind of
Okay.
like that. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, I think, can just rock on this Michigan team. Sorry, not Minnesota.
How
Kind
dare
of.
you?
I'm sorry. That was a legit accident. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
We have work to do. You're
My
mistaking us for Minnesota. That's the
my
lowest.
apologies. I think he'd be extremely dynamic. I think he's a dynamic guard that Michigan doesn't have. I think he's a different type of archetype than Doug McDaniel, and I think he could be a bucket getter just for Michigan. Like if he was on Michigan's team this year, I think he averages like close to 13, 14 points a game.
You don't think Doug's doing that?
No.
So in your head, Dre is a better player, which is why Michigan takes this. And Doug is a better pure point guard years down the line, which is why Illinois takes that. That's the thought behind it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think this trade goes through. That's my evaluation. I think Michigan declines it because I don't think Dre Gibbs Lawhorn is a better player than Doug, first of all. If Michigan was in like a win now mode, maybe. But Michigan, if anything, I think should be in like, let's find a young core that matters. And I don't think you want potential toxic locker room one and done guy over small point guard who you have 3 more years of. So Illinois would take that, in my opinion. Don't think Michigan would.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of mad that I got my first one shot down. We'll go to the second one.
I can't believe you think Doug can't score 13 a game. Like that's kind of my baseline for Doug this year, to be honest.
No, he strikes me as more like a 10. 10, 5, and
I think
5.
we might have a bet here.
I'd be down for that. Always. All right, second one. Olivier Nkamwa
I love they're all Michigan.
for TKR.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm
Talk to me.
intrigued. Okay, give me more. Give me more.
Talk to me. Okay. So I think that TKR, to me, he's a center. I think he'd be most dominant at center, but a center could also stretch the floor a little bit, maybe hitting like a 15-foot jumper. Um, yes, the fit might not be necessarily as well with Terrace, but I think you figure that out. I don't know who figures that out, but that's why you have a coaching staff. They can figure it out somehow. Juwan also loves a good power forward, so he would embrace TKR with open arms. Let that be known. And I just think that Olivier Nkamwa could be dynamic next to Edey. I think defensively he could be really, really good. I think it's a great defensive front court. Edey doesn't get enough credit for what he is as a rim protector. And I will kind of go on your mindset here that Olivier can stretch the floor more than I give him credit for.
Yeah, he shot it really well at the FIBA thing, and I know it's a small sample size, but like eye test,
Shout out to Finland, man. I love Finland. Lauri Markkanen,
eye
Joe
test,
Little.
eye test, and numbers were really, really good for Olivier. Like he looks like a guy who's going to shoot a lot of threes this year. Even
Age number 2 for that. That's good.
Okay, so I think Purdue fans are going to hear this and would say no way. I think Purdue fans will act like they're just too high on TKR and he's way better. I think both coaches accept this trade immediately if that's on the table. I do. I think Purdue should be in a win now mode, and Olivier would help them win more this season than TKR would. He is a better fit with Edey. He's probably the ultimate win now for you could put next to the National Player of the Year, and you could put with those guards. I love that fit for him. And I don't think Purdue needs to play for the future because you still got Caleb Furst. You still got these young guards. You're still going to be able to recruit big bigs. They need to win now, and Olivier would help them do that. Michigan, even if it's clunky with TKR and Terrace, you take the bet on the guy with more years than Olivier. Like Olivier's not bringing Michigan to a Final Four this year, so take TKR's upside next season and figure it out. I love that trade. I accept that trade, and I think Purdue wins that trade because I think Olivier is probably better than TKR on paper right now, and it's a win-win. But Purdue wins that trade.
Glad to see that. That's exactly how I see it. And then lastly, I have a Michigan State to Illinois trade. I have Coleman being traded for AJ Hoggard.
Oh my God. I can't believe you went there.
I'm huge on Jeremy Fears. I think that Jeremy Fears can play right away. I think you have Tyson and Jaden still on the team. I think that could be dynamic as well. I would love to see that backcourt of Jaden and Tyson, to be honest with you. If that doesn't work out, you throw Fears in there. And I think that we could use some front court help. And I think Coleman can do that both offensively and defensively. He can help us out. I think that'd be really good. And, obviously not to harp on it, Illinois needs a point guard. Why not take one of the best point guards in the Big Ten and AJ Hoggard?
So I want to ask you this because I'm shocked you went here. But if you were going to trade AJ Hoggard, is Coleman your number one ideal target? Like if you're saying I'm trading AJ Hoggard for a front court guy, I feel like you could get guys that aren't Coleman if you wanted. Like you could get anybody from Indiana's front court for AJ Hoggard.
You think they would? You think they would?
I think that. I mean, they need a guard.
I said more
right?
so Coleman because I think they would actually trade him. I need to see it accepted.
Oh, okay. You don't think Indiana would trade one of their three?
No, not from the sounds of it.
See, I think they would.
They got Xavier Johnson. Why would they?
Okay, I think they would. But okay, I wasn't sure if that was like you think Coleman's the best option or you think he needs to go.
I think it needs to be accepted. I think the trade needs to be accepted.
Got it. Okay. Man, I can't believe you went there on AJ. I love the logic. Like, I'm with you. Michigan State's backcourt would be totally fine with Fears, Walker, Akins. With that said, I also think Hoggard has first team All Big Ten upside. But like, what are you doing with Coleman? Is he the starting five for Michigan State now and plays next to Malik Hall?
Yeah.
I mean, deep down, there's no way Tom Izzo does this. But on paper, if I'm both coaches, I do it. I think, right? I think, it's a no-brainer if you're Illinois. No offense to Coleman. But, you put A.J. Hoggard with Terrence Shannon, Dane Danger, and the others, I think that's a top. That's probably the third best team in the Big Ten. So, I'm in on that. Michigan State's a bigger question, but I'm with you. I think they need a front court upgrade. And you can get by losing whatever guard you want to pick out of it. So I would do it. Izzo never would, but
I did have on the original first right through. I had Fears for Coleman, and then I changed it to Hoggard for Coleman.
That one's actually more intriguing to me because I think Michigan State fans could get behind that easier. And I think Illinois wouldn't mind having 4 years of Fears over 1 year of AJ.
See, I think Michigan State fans would say, I want those years of Fears instead over this 1 year of AJ.
Okay. I'm intrigued. If we end up clipping this, I'm very curious to see what the Michigan State reception of this would be. I think mostly...
I know it'll be your fault.
Of course it'll be my fault. Okay, so I'll give you 2 out of 3 for that. Do you feel good about that? Is that a good result for you?
Yeah, I'll take that. I was expecting 3.
Okay. So I have 3. 2 of mine are a lot more complicated than yours. What you want to start with the easy one or you want to start with the complicated ones?
Start with the easy one. Let's get a layup.
Okay. Start with the easy one. Boo Buie for Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Would you like some explanation?
I would like some explanation, yes.
Boo Buie being stellar for Northwestern this season does nothing for Northwestern this season. And I'm the biggest Boo guy there is. I won't put it past him to drag this team back to the tournament. It could happen. But Northwestern actually, outside of Boo right now, one, doesn't have a lot that's ready to win now. Two, has some young guys. Like if you look at the other guys who are going to play for Northwestern, it's guys who have multiple years of eligibility for the most part, other than a couple of transfers they brought in. They need a guy who's the next Boo. They don't need the current Boo right now. They need a guy who could be Boo 3 years from now and can grow with them. Dre might think he's a one and done, but he's super talented. You throw him on Northwestern, kind of like what you were saying with Michigan. It's just the Dre Gibbs Lawhorn show. He can do whatever the hell he wants, and it'd be really fun to watch. Boo is the ultimate win now point guard for a team that needs a win now point guard. I thought about a Michigan State, Illinois flip like you did, but I think at the end of the day, Izzo would never do it. I think truly right now, Northwestern would take the guy with 4 years of eligibility, and Illinois would take the win now guy.
I like that trade. I think Northwestern would be hesitant to give up Boo. I just think optically, could they let go of the greatest? I mean, I don't know if he is, but like one of the greatest Northwestern players of all time.
I think they could embrace the prospect of DGL.
Okay, I think they accept it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I think they accept it. Also, think your body would just combust on the spot if you got a backcourt of Boo Buie and Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I just would be such an Illinois fan at that point. Like if I could get those two together, I think that's probably why I led with that trade. Honestly, I just want to see it so badly. We need to get like, at the end of the season when they do like the All-Star game stuff in Phoenix next year, I need to see a Boo and Terrence Shannon team at like the Reese's game. That'd be incredible.
That'd be nice, or just a photo, so we could post like what could have been.
Or just a photo with me. Like, I'll take that as an alternative. I'm right there with, we can work it out. Okay. You ready for the complicated ones? Both of these are complicated.
All right, let's hear it. Are there cap implications with this?
No, just players for players. I thought about throwing some NIL in, but there's a lot of names involved, not one for ones on this one. Okay. Number 2, Caleb Furst, Camden Hyde, Brian Waddell, and David Jenkins. In a package.
Is David Jenkins still on Purdue?
Is he? Who's the transfer guard now?
Not Lance Jones.
Lance Jones. That's what I meant. Jesus, sorry. Caleb Furst, Camden Hyde, Brian Waddell, and Lance Jones for Keisei Tominaga. That's it. Hear me out.
Just Keisei.
All Purdue needs is a no-brainer stud shooter that's fun and that doesn't need the ball, but when he gets the ball, he's electric and he makes shots. Now, I didn't want to blow it up for Purdue. Like, I thought about, do you trade Fletch? No, because Fletch still has 3 years and Fletch could be really good and he might be a good shooter this year. Purdue fans would never trade Miles Colvin. Thought about that. I don't think they need to. You keep TKR. If you're Purdue, you keep everybody that truly matters here. You just trade a bunch of other kind of high upside guys that are like 8th through 12th on this roster for a no-brainer win now guy that you slot in at the 3. You could run Braden Fletcher, Tominaga, TKR, and Edey. That team's absurd. For Nebraska, again, kind of Northwestern-y. No matter how good Keisei is, it doesn't matter. You need a whole team. Caleb Furst has theoretically maybe 3 years. Is it 2 or 3 more years? I don't know. Camden Hyde, you got 4 years of. He'd fly around and Lincoln would absolutely love him. Brian Waddell, I have no idea how many years he has left, but that all 4 of those guys would be Nebraska's like 2nd through 6th best players. They're probably a more competitive team, and Purdue goes all in on a national title.
I think that trade gets accepted too.
Let's go.
That's a great, honestly. Okay, but would it go through? Could I throw in, if I'm Nebraska, could I throw in, or if I'm Purdue, could I throw in Gillis over Furst, or they don't accept that if it's Gillis?
Ooh. I don't.
They probably don't.
I think Furst has to be the face of this trade. Also, Furst just kind of feels like a Nebraska player.
He does kind of look like he was at home when we saw him in Nebraska. He felt good.
I think Furst might end up being first team All Big Ten if he was at Nebraska.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. No, you could probably put Gillis in for like somebody else, but I don't think Nebraska cares about Gillis.
Should I trade AJ for first?
No, you cannot. All right. So am I 2 for 2 right now? I'm going for the win on the third
You
one.
are 2 for 2 right now. Yes.
This is dangerous. You have to promise me. You'll be honest and objective at the end of this one.
Okay. So I already know this is gonna be some bullshit. All right, here we go.
I'm kind of tempted to change the player name just to try to win the exercise here and go 3 for 3, but I'm going to stick with what I had.
Okay.
This is a Michigan for Michigan State trade. It's a 2 for 2 trade. I want to send to Michigan State Olivier Kamwa and Namari Burnett. I want to send to Michigan Jackson Kohler and Jaden Akins. I know this is incredibly hard because you love Akins, as do I. Here's the simple truth. Hoggard and Walker are the national title shot here. Even if I want to downplay Hoggard, I'm kind of over that. I've been gassing him up this offseason. Hoggard and Walker are the national title shot. Akins is a good wing, no doubt. We got to see what Akins looks like on the ball. We're not going to see it this year. Namari Burnett is worse than Jaden Akins by a lot, but he can play the role Jaden Akins is asked to play at Michigan State and be fine. Kamwa is a total upgrade. Kamwa is a no-brainer upgrade. Best player in Michigan State's front court the moment he steps on that team. Michigan State runs out Hoggard, Walker, whoever they want at the 3, but I think Burnett would probably start. And then either Booker or Hall and Kamwa. That's your starting team. It's absurd. Michigan now runs out Doug, Akins, Jackson Kohler probably plays the 4. Terrace Reed. Michigan has a couple guys with a couple of years of eligibility, and Akins gets the ball in his hands a lot more.
This pains me to say because the logic fits. No, Michigan State denies it. No, I don't care. Fuck logic. No.
Just
love wins. There. Love wins. I can't do it. I can't. Jaden has braids now.
He does. But that was one of the
key reasons. But also that would fit. It would.
I think it makes both teams better.
I'll give you this. Let's not say better, but I'll give you this. It would be thought out on both sides. It wouldn't be an immediate deny, immediate accept. There'd be conversations.
I think it makes both teams better. If not, it would make Michigan State worse a year from now because you don't get senior year Jaden. But if you're going in on national title, I think that would help you more in theory. And I think Jaden Akins would just be basketball Keon Coleman the moment he steps in Ann Arbor.
Man, how do I know that somehow this exercise would end up with Jay? I should have known that there was going to be some trade that got that man to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I mean, if you offer me the exercise of Big Ten trades, I'm not going to not do everything I can to get Jaden. Honestly,
yeah, I respect it. I truly do.
Okay, flipping this though. You're the GM of Michigan State basketball. I'm the GM of Michigan basketball. I call you in. My starting offer is what I just said. My starting offer is Olivier Kamwa and Namari Burnett for Jaden Akins and Jackson Kohler. Like you said, we probably talk it out. Okay, you call me back 10 minutes later and say, no deal. If I respond to you and say, name your price, nothing is untouchable. Take my entire roster. I just want Jaden Akins. What's your response?
I would say throw in Jason a trade and I'll accept it. I want his son.
That's so mean.
Just for optic purposes. I'm ripping you from mommy and daddy. Come on. And I'm making him wear Michigan. And I'm starting him every game so you can get a picture of him in the jersey.
That's a level of petty I didn't even know that you had within you. But for the record, that's a no-brainer. 100% doing that. All right, that was a fun exercise. We both finished 2 for 3, I guess.
I'll give you 3 for 3.
Oh, thanks. I don't take handouts though, so we both finished 2 for 3.
Okay, all right.
Let's finish today's episode with one big thing presented by Bigby.